this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Karina ready in her chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
It is, in fact, time for the ThinkSoJoE Show.
Yes, it is.
And we've 5 years ago today, 5 years ago right now, it was time for the ThinkSoJoE Show for the very first time.
Congratulations.
So 5 years of the ThinkSoJoE Show as of today.
Cool.
How about that?
Yeah.
So celebrating with music from Silence the Cynic, which is, of course, Brian, who used to co-host, and Exham Priory, which has Dan Twist, who also used to co-host.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating today a little bit. Just a little. That's the second half of the music for today.
Yeah.
Nobody's chatting with us yet. What's up with that?
Laura, where are you?
Yeah, where's everybody?
Jasmine's
We're broadcasting.
working.
We're broadcasting, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
We haven't dropped any frames. I rebooted the router before the show because it's like, okay, we're not having these fucking problems again.
Right.
5 years of pain, says Laura
5
Moore.
years. How long has Laura been listening?
5 years.
The whole freaking time?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Laura.
Laura's been...
How long has she been bitching about the show?
6 years. 7, 8, 9 years. I don't know.
Okay.
Your mom says congrats on 5 years. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. 5 years. Not not a bad episode in the bunch.
I mean, not that I was involved in. That's for sure.
Yeah, last week's wasn't terrible.
No, right.
Not at all.
Right.
Anyway. I think you started listening before that, Laura. I think you've been, you have Think Metal in your name. You've been listening to me since way before this show started.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Brian and I started this show 5 years ago, and I just actually referenced it on a post Brian made in the Western New York Vinyl Facebook group, where he was like, "Oh, do you think your tastes vary depending on when you start listening to something?" And I said, "Dude, for a fact that that's my theory, my theory that I've had of." Like if you start listening to something or watching something later in life that other people loved when they were kids and still love today, you don't have that nostalgia factor going in, which was me with, what do you call it? Jaws and Jurassic Park. I hated Jurassic. I didn't I saw my posts from watching Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I remember.
A couple of days.
Joe knows Jack.
I saw my posts. Look, Jasmine's here. You said she wasn't going to.
I thought she was at work.
She wasn't going to be here. But I saw my posts, and it's just like, man, is it wrong that I'm rooting for the dinosaur to eat these fucking obnoxious children in this movie?
Oh my goodness, did I send you... It was an article with a video in it, and it was like it replaced all of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park with Pee Wee Herman.
No.
Oh my God.
That would have been a far more entertaining film.
It was only a couple minute clip,
Yeah.
like it probably a preview or something. I don't know. It was good. I'll have to find it for you later.
But I'm seeing all my tweets about all the, because I watched all of them, like up to.
How many are there?
I think there was at the time there were 4. So there was Jurassic Park, The Lost World 2, and Jurassic World. And so I was tasked with watching all 4.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
And there was a post where it said, finally, 4 movies in, and I finally found a human character I actually like, and it's Jimmy Fallon playing himself. Jasmine is at work watching the show.
I know. Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine's going to come over and play later this week.
Hooray.
I know. We're probably going to have pierogies.
Cool.
I know. I'm excited.
Cool. So the Buffalo Sabres are in COVID protocol right now, which
what does this mean?
Does not mean that they have COVID. It means that they're based on contact tracing, they're taking precaution, or possibly due to positive tests. Doesn't necessarily mean positive tests doesn't mean that they're sick, not able to play. But the league has suspended play for the Sabres until February 8th, which is next Monday.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
In the meantime, if you need your hockey fix on NBC Sports tomorrow night, if you need your Buffalo hockey fix, the Buffalo Beauts are, in fact, in the Isabel Cup playoffs, and they are playing the Toronto Six tomorrow night, Game 1.
Very cool.
Which they weren't supposed to be playing tomorrow night. They were supposed to be done.
Okay.
So what had happened was they played all weekend. They played Saturday, Sunday, Monday against the Boston Pride. It was a best-of-3 series. The winner was going to qualify for the Isabel Cup playoffs. However, earlier in the day on Monday, prior to the Boston and Buffalo game, the Connecticut Whale, who were in the midst of their own best-of-3 series with the Minnesota Whitecaps, opted to opt out of the tournament due to health and safety concerns. And therefore, the final game between Boston and Buffalo became placement for the 3rd and 4th seeds in the tournament. So Buffalo lost that game. Buffalo now playing the 1st seed, the Toronto Six. And the Whitecaps are playing the Boston Pride now. So those 2 series both kick off tomorrow night on NBC Sports if you want to still get your hockey fix without the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay. That's really cool. That's awesome for Buffalo Beauts that they're, somehow.
Which, if you've seen our thumbnail for today's show, it's a reimagining of the Buffalo Beauts jersey.
Yeah.
So.
But kind of
sucks for the Connecticut Whale, kind of sucks for the Buffalo Sabres, kind of sucks for the New Jersey Devils, who are the cause of all that in the NHL.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They have, I think, like 14 players now on the COVID list.
Ooh.
Like in COVID protocol doesn't necessarily mean that they have COVID. It means that they may have come in contact with COVID and are unavailable to play. So this all happened like right after the Devils played here. So Buffalo was getting ready to go to New York to play the Islanders, and the league was like, you know what? No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So
better safe than sorry, really.
So they'll be back. I think the games are suspended through Monday. Which means that the next Sabres game, I think, is, if I recall correctly, is on the 11th. Which is a week from tomorrow.
Thursday? Yeah.
A week from tomorrow, yeah.
Go math.
Yeah.
Well,
kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? Oh, well, if you need your sports fix, you do have the Buffalo Beauts in the Isabel Cup final, not finals, but the playoffs.
Yeah.
Semifinals, I guess, would be the correct term, because if they win, they go on to the finals to play either the Whitecaps or the Pride, but they got to get through the 6 first. And then you've also got the Super Bowl this Sunday.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs. Who'd they beat in the AFC Championship? Anybody know? Buffalo, do you guys know? And they're playing against, of course, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Someone was gonna, right?
So, yeah. I mean, would you, if you're a Buffalo fan, would you rather go to the Super Bowl and lose to Tom Brady, or not go to the Super Bowl and see Tom Brady lose? Because chances are, I mean, Patrick, the Chiefs are a fantastic team. They beat my Niners last year on a, I'm not gonna make excuses, but somebody shared a clip from that game today where there should have been a holding call and wasn't. But what are you gonna do? Officiating
not
is
that you're
not
sour or anything.
They're humans. Referees are humans. They make mistakes. There's supposed to be procedures in place to prevent these mistakes, but the people running those are human too, I guess.
Doesn't the government work the same way?
Well, I guess. Sure. Why not? I don't know. But, so we're here. We got good music coming up on the show.
Yeah, we really do.
Got good. I was working on. I was going to put the wall up today because like before it was like, oh, you know what? It's actually fine because I had the banner up over there and now I have hats over there.
Well, your hats look very nice.
They do, but I would have liked to have the banner. The banner is actually blocked by me right now. It's behind me. But I was going to put up the wall and I was going to put up some nice lights and, I was going to do some fancy stuff. And then it's like, there's no fucking room in this room for all this.
Yeah, the desk is much bigger than your old desk.
Yeah. I mean, but the old desk is out of here. And
I know.
So there's, but there's no room like behind us where we're not like pinned to this space. Like we can move right now.
Yeah, we can. It's just not going to be in frame if we move.
Yes, I am currently airing on all WNY.
That's what it looks like.
Yes, I remembered this week. Because when I remember to air on all WNY and therefore remember to record the show or record the audio,
correct,
everything else works fine. When I forget to do it, that's when we have all kinds of technical issues like last week.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, totally.
I love chaos.
Totally.
Yeah.
But we are airing on all WNY.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got the audio. I guess, how did I get the audio last week? I don't even know to put up as a podcast, but it's up. I think I just took like the recorded video, which was the second upload to YouTube last week.
Yes.
I took that recorded video and just took the audio from that and was like, this is what we're, this is the podcast. I'm not putting an ad in this or anything. Just have it. Take it. No ads this week just because it starts 20 minutes into the broadcast. So, Laura, I'm not currently playing NHL. You're confusing yourself.
Oh,
anyway,
dear.
I will be back playing NHL tomorrow night.
Okay.
I tried playing WWE Battlegrounds the other day, and I'm like, this game is fucking terrible. Nobody looks like their actual like person.
Oh, really?
And like, I got it on the Switch, so I'm like all confused by the controls because they're backwards from Xbox controls.
Oh man, that sounds rough.
So it's like press X, and I'm pressing Y, thinking it's X. Like damn, I should have bought this on Stadia. Oh well, it was $25. Probably never gonna play it again.
Yeah. Really?
I didn't like it. I tried playing it like after I finished the stream. I'm like, I got nothing else going on. Let me play this game instead of going to bed because you weren't home.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, let me play this game instead of going to bed. And I'm just like, this game sucks. Why am I even trying to play this game? So.
Well, that's a shame. That's a waste of $25.
Oh well.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like made up wrestlers in the game. It's like why are these made up wrestlers in this game, but you don't have like Shotzi Blackheart's not in this game.
What are some of the made up wrestlers?
I don't know.
Nothing
I'm supposed to remember their name?
Well, if they're neat, you might.
I don't know. You could go back watch my stream from last Saturday, I guess. You're like, oh, I miss you. I'm like, here's my Twitch link. You can watch me. And you're like, I don't want to watch you play video games.
I don't want to watch you play video games. I could do that here.
And you don't want to do it here either. So
no, I really don't.
Yeah.
Oh, unless it's Tetris and you give me the second controller.
Yeah, I was playing Tetris, not on stream, but I was playing Tetris. So I'm like, let me try this Tetris 99 and see how bad I suck at it. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I'm not very good at Tetris.
What's special about Tetris 99?
It's a battle royale type Tetris game, like Mario 35, just with 99 players and Tetris.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that sounds kind of fun.
It is
for me because I'm like okay at Tetris.
I would be okay at Tetris if I didn't have people attacking me, and now my level keeps going. I'm like, no, I need to be closer to the bottom. Like, I just need a 4, and I got this. And then, the 4s, you see, like, the next, like, 5 pieces, and it's like the 4's way at the bottom.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
No!
Yep.
I'm never going to survive getting all these zigzag pieces and then the 4.
Yep.
Oh, well.
It's not as easy as it looks sometimes.
No.
But I feel that way about all video games, except for, like, Tetris and Pac-Man are kind of easy. And, like, what else is kind of easy? Like, fucking House of the Dead and, like, oh, God, what was it called? The shooting game. Time Crisis.
I wouldn't know.
Time Crisis was, well, it's not like a first-person shooter. It was like an arcade shooter. So, like, I don't know. Do those make you nauseous?
No, it's a game in the vein of, like, Area 51 and, like, Lethal Enforcers or...
I don't know.
Like,
Well, House of the Dead is zombies, and it's, like, it's a first-person shooter.
Is it one of those games where you have the gun?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, like I could play those.
Yeah, me too. They're really fun. I used to, when I was a mall rat at the Lockport Mall with Aladdin's Castle, my sister would, like, give me quarters when I would get, like, all worked up and, like, need to calm down.
Operation Wolf, that was the other game I was trying to think of.
I've never played that.
Yeah, I've definitely played that. I've played Lethal Enforcers and Area 51 and all those.
Yeah.
Area 51 was actually a pretty cool game. I have, for Sega Saturn, I have Revolution X, which is it's essentially a first-person shooter, but it's the arcade version has the actual, like, physical gun you shoot. So I can actually play that. Mm-hmm. But that's not, like, immersive in, like, you're in the 3D space and you're moving. Like, it just goes from screen to screen. You just shoot all the bad guys on the screen. I can play those. But I have Revolution X, which is a shooting game, and your mission is to save Aerosmith, basically.
Oh.
I
would purposely fail.
The plot of the game is you're fighting against this mega corporation that's trying to, like, stop music from existing, and you have
if
to.
If it's all music, it's one thing, but if it's Aerosmith, it's like give or take.
It's all music, but mainly Aerosmith. Like, they get kidnapped at a show, and you got to go rescue them.
That sounds fun,
But
though.
in the meantime, you're also trying to, like, save music in general by saving Aerosmith.
Okay. I mean,
So.
it sounds like it doesn't suck.
No, it's a pretty fun game. I used to play it all the time. I used to be really good at it.
Yeah.
And then I hooked my Sega Saturn up, like, some months ago, and I'm just like, oh, cool, Revolution X, let me play. And I'm just like, man, I'm terrible at this. Why? I used to be good at this? What the fuck?
Yeah, so I don't know. I really miss, like, arcade video games, but I don't like sitting at home playing video games.
Yeah, no, I miss arcade games too, but I mean, today's games are, like, visually and technically far and away better than what we used to play in arcades, as good as those games were. And you used to, I know you don't play a lot of games at home, but did you ever, like, love an arcade game and you're just like, ooh, it's finally coming out on this console, and you bring the game, you buy the console version, and it's just like, this isn't as fun because it's not as detailed and it's not as intense, like Mortal Kombat for me, and owning a Sega Genesis was kind of like, man, this is not as good. So I would, like, adjust the TV settings. I'd turn the sharpness up and I'd turn the brightness down, and I'd, like, try to, get it as close to feeling like the arcade as I could on a Sega Genesis. And it just, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the arcades, you have other people who are all excited. You have lights that make it more fun.
Yeah.
You hear the other video games. You hear the other kids playing. I don't know. The environment is more fun. Then, like, if you get sick of, like, the first-person shooters or the fighting games or whatever, you can go play some fucking whack-a-mole.
This is true. Or skee ball.
Skee ball. Skee ball is my shit.
Yeah, and shoot the basketball and play a basketball.
I
game.
don't do the basketball
I
so
do the
much.
basketball.
I liked to tag team the whack-a-mole. And we would get in trouble for that sometimes, but you got a lot more tickets that way.
Yeah, I used to regularly like go to the arcades up in Canada on Clifton Hill in Niagara Falls.
Fucking Boston Pizza, right?
Boston Pizza,
yes,
yeah, exactly.
With the schooners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember throwing up schooners.
Yeah, I used to go to Boston Pizza all the time. That was like one of the big arcades there.
Yeah.
There was a couple of them up on the strip
Oh, that's the only one I went to.
But
they had Time Crisis there, one of the Time Crisis games.
But I used to go there and I would win all kinds of tickets.
Yeah.
And,
Did they have prizes and shit?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I guess I never played the right games.
That's where I got. I used to own lava lamps. That's where I got them. Was
wow.
was Boston? I think it was Boston Pizza.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was the prizes were downstairs?
Prizes were downstairs.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder how much money I wasted at Boston Pizza. Between the $18 beers and the fucking games.
Definitely spent a lot of money at Boston Pizza. But
I remember going to Boston Pizza on fucking school nights, man. Oh, fucking life decisions. Jesus.
We used to go up on weekends and just. It would be but it would be like 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
And we would go up on a weekend and we'd just like wander the strip up there. So we'd go, we'd mostly hang out in the arcades or whatever, but then we would, see some of the performers out there. There was this one guy who, he was like a one-man band kind of deal.
Oh, neat.
Who would play at like Pizza. Right across the street.
I don't remember where that was.
Right across the street from Boston Pizza, if I recall correctly.
That's bad.
But this guy would be out there, and he'd have a little booth set up, and he'd be performing in there. And I just remember one time one of my friends got him to sign his shoe, and the other friend got him to sign a dollar bill or something. I don't know, something stupid.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's also like shit to do, like the museums, the wax museums and haunted houses. And
so I used to go there was the Rock Legends Wax Museum.
Okay.
And then attached to that is a gift shop, and the gift shop's a standalone store, but you can also that's also the exit from the wax museum.
That's good marketing.
So I used to go in there all the time, and that's that's where I bought my And Justice for All hoodie. And I used to have all the thanks for the follow. I used to have all the like flag posters. You know what I mean? Like like the fabric posters. I had like Metallica and Korn and all kinds of stuff. And so I would go there to buy them.
Okay.
And I got a sneeze coming. It's coming.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Bless you.
but anyway, so I would go there to buy them, and it was always it would always be a pain in the ass because I'd always end up getting like the last one they had in stock,
and they'd have to take it off the wall.
So they would have to like get the ladder, and they have to go up and get it off the ceiling because usually the ones I wanted were on the ceiling, and so or they were like, oh, we can only take or they would have trouble with the computer with the exchange rate or whatever. So,
oh jeez.
So yeah, I was always a pain in the ass customer when I would go in there unintentionally, completely. Like I didn't go in there with the intent of, oh, I'm gonna fucking ruin your day now. I would just walk in there and be like, hey, I want that, and they'd be like, okay, crap. I used to have a ton of those. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, that sucks.
Had a bunch of cool Metallica ones. I had
Of course you did.
like Korn, Follow the Leader, a couple of Korn ones actually. I think I had, and I think that might be it. I don't know, but it was. My whole wall was covered in them.
Yeah.
So
I at one point had like 76 Hanson posters. Yeah. My sister actually made me take some of them down because she got really uncomfortable when she was changing her clothes. She was like, "There's like 76 pairs of eyes."
Yeah, no, I had all the fabric posters up on the wall. I miss those. Those were nice. I don't got anywhere to put them to,
Well, if you wanted to put them on the ceiling, we could figure that out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Not necessarily in here. We could do that like out in the big people room.
Yeah, that's true. We do have a giant tapestry of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that's in the laundry right now.
It's just got to come up.
Oh, okay.
It's dry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We do have a tie-dye tapestry in one of our windows, though. I don't know what that tells our neighbors.
Anyway. I mean, it tells them better things than the thin blue line flag across the street.
Right? That's true. That's true. The one that says
the Trump one that
enough
says no more
liberals-
no more liberal
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. It comes down every couple days. It's like the person that put it out must get in trouble. And then like, fuck it, I'm going to put the flag out anyways. I don't care that it says that.
It's like, oh, bad weather. I'm going to put the Trump flag away, but leave the American flag out.
Flag flying, yep. Nice.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, no, I used to have a Hall & Oates flag.
What did that look like?
It looked like the back cover of the H2O album.
What's
which is just a like close up of the
Oh.
sides of Daryl Hall and John Oates' sweaty faces.
Ew.
I could show you, it's right there. Not the flag, but the album.
Oh, right.
The
I
album
knew what you
something.
meant.
You knew what I meant. I don't know if they knew what I meant. Laura doesn't know anything. Laura's
Aw.
just, did you do this? Can you do that? Why don't you take that down? Why don't you do this? Because you don't tell me what to do, Laura. This is my show. Anyway.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
You came here to watch me. I didn't go out of my way to watch you.
Would you, though? Would you reciprocate for Laura?
Probably not.
Oh, you're a dick.
How much content do I actually consume? I try if I
More than
see
me.
if I see my friends are on Twitch, I usually try to at least pop on and be like, oh hey, at least say hi.
Yeah.
If nothing else. But I don't really anything that's more than like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I basically avoid because I'm just like I don't want to sit here for this long.
It's commitment.
Especially if I get interested in something that's longer than that. And I'm like, I got shit to do. Why am I sitting here watching this? It's why, like, I'll see posts from, like, 4 years ago of, oh, I was just watching the 1997 Survivor Series on WWE Network. And then I'm just like, why am I only in February 1998 now? Like, oh, because I don't want to sit here and watch 3 hours of content at once.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't think I can consume more than like 15 minutes. I don't do YouTube very often. Nothing longer than a music video.
That's where I consume content is when I'm editing audio for clients. I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm gonna watch YouTube while I'm editing this audio, and that's how I
Yeah.
keep up on my YouTube stuff that I like to watch.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, man, I don't feel like watching this guy right now. Like, I love Trogley's guitar show, but I don't feel like watching him right this second.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do still watch Raw, but
Jasmine tunes in to support you.
I appreciate that, and I try to.
I would tune in to support Jasmine and Laura. I would make the effort. I can't promise that I would tune in for more than like 3 minutes, but
That's the thing. Like, I will see like somebody popped online, and I'll pop over to see what they're up to, and they're playing some shooter game or playing. The one guy that was watching us last week. He was playing Among Us the one time I clicked on, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
What is Among Us?
That's Among Us is sus. You guys know what that means, right? Anybody who's played Among Us knows what sus means. I don't. Anyway, it means you're suspect. It's so like somebody is the bad guy. It's a group of people.
Is it like Clue?
No. Somebody is the bad guy.
Okay.
And they're trying to manipulate everybody into thinking they're not the bad guy. So like everybody gets together and they vote on who they think the bad guy is, and if they're wrong, the person they voted for is out. Meanwhile, the bad guy's still out and killing people or whatever. So the object, if you're the bad guy, is to not be found out, and the object, if you're not the bad guy, is to find out who the bad guy is.
All right.
And so like
that sounds like a good structure for a game.
so you get like this chat going, and you say, hey, I think Green is sus. He's suspicious.
Okay.
So
I guess we're just.
yeah.
I'm old.
I've never actually played it. I've considered it, but I have not done it. Brian actually is a regular player of Among Us.
That's cool.
And depending
My
on
juice
the
is gone. That's kind of a bummer.
depending on the group of people you play with, it's fun AF, says Jasmine.
Fun AF?
Fun AF.
Fun AF.
Yes. Because we don't allow swearing in our chat.
Right, why would we?
Yes, we do. I think we do. I don't think we've censored anything.
No, we're
If
not
we did,
really
it wasn't.
the type-
If we did, it's not intentional.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so,
hey, it's music time.
yeah.
So this is Victor A. Castillo.
Okay, do you know where, you want to know where he came from?
Where did he come from?
Okay, this is how I found him. Trevor Jennings of Rust Belt Brigade, you know, Meredith Trevor.
Yes.
He just did some work with him, and I don't know if that work was available. I couldn't find it myself. But they just did some work together, so I figured we would check out Victor.
All right, and this song is called Lake Erie Lullaby on All WNY Think So Joe Show.
I can still hear the ghost of the Erie still calling my name. Oh, how they wanted me to stay. I can hear the springtime in Ashford Hollow. I can still hear the trilliums grow. And those the piece of my soul holds on, and it will stay there until I let it go. Does the coyote chase the rabbit? Does the rabbit still run? Can he run after all the coyote's done? The mist on the mountains don't make it down here where the land is scorched and burned and clear. High noon isn't a good time for anyone to make a stand, but these lovers are not afraid of the man. Get broken, get bloody, you Like a compass, it will take you to the right place. Like a compass, it will take you to the right place. Like a compass, it will take you to the right place.
All right, that was Victor A. Castillo.
Castillo?
Castillo. I don't know. Is it Spanish or is it English? Because it could be Castillo. I think it's Castillo. It sounds better. Anyway.
Well, that was really nice. I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, and the song called Lake Erie Lullaby. That's on his newest EP, which I don't know the name of. Do you, off the top of your head? No. Okay.
No, where's the note card?
I don't know. Right here.
Did I not write it down?
Here. You did not. You wrote
Shit.
with Trevor Jennings.
Well, I don't think Trevor was on that song.
I don't know. You just said.
I know.
Yeah.
But Trevor plays percussion.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right.
We'll figure it out for next time.
Sure.
Okay. So anyways,
Yeah.
I know you're dying to talk about wrestling.
Why would I be dying to talk about wrestling?
Because of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble was this past Sunday. The right guy won. We're good.
Okay, so what did you do as part of your annual ritual for watching the Royal Rumble?
Well, you weren't home, so I took over the dining room and set up my projector and watched in there.
Yeah.
And and the reason you're asking me is because I was going to take your extension cord for your headphones and use it to plug in my sound bar, but it's so ingrained into everything else. It was like I can't do this crap. Like,
yeah.
All right, I managed to figure
Not
it out,
worth
and it
it.
was good. It took me a few minutes took me a few tries to get WWE Network running on my projector. I had to because after resetting everything over here, I never reset the one out there, the Wi-Fi extender.
Oh.
And I think that was part of it. I think that was part of why it wasn't working properly. So, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Screw it. I'll just use my laptop. And then my laptop won't send like video to the projector.
Oh, jeez.
At least not in full screen.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, this is not going to work.
But you figured it out.
Yeah, I managed to do something.
At you.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who won?
Edge.
Edge. Which one's that?
One of my favorite wrestlers ever.
I know that by his name, but like, what's his shtick? Like, I don't know who he is.
Heavy metal guy that loves wrestling.
Okay.
Basically. He had to retire years and years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was world champion when he retired, so it was like really, it bummed everybody out. And then he came back at last year's Royal Rumble. And then his best friend, Christian, came back in this year's Royal Rumble after being out for several years following an injury. So
Okay.
So that was a feel-good moment, the two of them hugging it out in the middle of the ring.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You gotta love those feel-good moments in the middle of a primitive game.
Sure. Anyway.
You got to admit it's a fairly primitive sport, even though they put the drama in with it. They're still beating the shit out of each other at the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just like it is. It's like the gladiators back in those times. It's
You mean like Nitro and Turbo and Saber?
Oh my God.
Zap and
Fuck
Siren
you.
and
Fuck
Diamond
you.
and
Yeah.
Ice.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
And Malibu. Remember Malibu, the American Gladiator?
I really liked that show. I never missed it. Seriously, me and my sister, we would watch it was it on like Saturday mornings?
It was
or
on
something?
Saturday afternoons,
Saturday afternoons.
just after WWF Superstars.
Okay, we did not watch that. We watched cartoons, and then we probably like had a break from TV or something like that, and then came back for Gladiators because Dad wanted to watch it too.
Yeah, wrestling was on at noon, and American Gladiators was on at 1, and It's like, yep, that's my Saturday every Saturday. I'm gonna watch wrestling and American Gladiators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. We just watched the cartoons. We didn't care as much about the wrestling most of the time.
I mean,
most of the time. Like sometimes we cared.
I mean, wrestling back then might as well have been a cartoon.
Yeah.
That was like knee deep in the Hulkamania era. So.
Yeah. We liked Hulk. We had one of those pillows that were shaped like Hulk.
Oh, the wrestling buddies.
Yes, the wrestling buddies. And we used to put these sweaters that my grandma made for our dolls on him. It was delightful. It really was.
We saw an ad for a show with, what's the dude's name? Brad Garrett or whatever, the dude that plays the brother on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, yeah, shit. I don't know his name.
And I'm like, hey, look, it's the voice of Hulk Hogan from Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
I don't remember that, though.
And then I'm like, if you want to get more modern, he was the voice of the big dog on Two Stupid Dogs. And if you want to be cliche about it, he was the brother on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, that's how I know him. And also the brother from Everybody Loves Raymond. He was in The Tick.
Ah, yeah.
Right?
I think wasn't Patrick Warburton the Tick? Joe from
No.
Family Guy?
No, he was in The Tick. I don't.
Oh, he was
Damn
in
it,
The Tick.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just
I don't know.
confusing characters.
I never watched The Tick.
Oh my God, The Tick was a great show. Has
When-
anybody watched The Tick?
When The Tick was out was also when like Freakazoid was out, and I was a Freakazoid guy. I watched Freakazoid all the time.
What was Freakazoid?
It was the dude in the red like pajamas running around with the shocked hair, and he was blue.
I don't know, but that sounds neat.
He got sucked into the internet, and he had to like I don't know.
No, it sounds cool,
Yeah.
but no.
I wish I could like stream that somewhere. I haven't seen it anywhere. So I've just been watching the Flintstones instead. Actually, so
I've been enjoying having the Flintstones on.
so I came to bed, I put on the Simpsons, watched a couple episodes, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to fall asleep watching these newer episodes of The Simpsons that I've only seen like once or twice.
Right.
So I'm just going to put on the Flintstones and I'm going to fall asleep. And then it was like the end of season 2.
Sorry, I bumped the table.
Yeah,
I'm
don't do
fidgety.
that. Anyway,
I just chugged a V8 energy.
so I'm like, all right, well, so it's the end of season 2, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, so when the next season starts is when the new theme song comes on.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. It was actually a couple of episodes in, so I'm like, I'm going to get to the new theme song, and then I'm going to make sure I fall asleep. And then I got through the first episode with the new theme song, and I'm like, okay, I need to turn this off now.
Yeah.
And put something that I'm going to fall asleep watching on.
What did you end up with?
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, I put on King of the Hill.
I actually waited until you fell asleep.
It actually like started in the middle of an episode, so I had no idea what was going on, and was like, "Cool, I don't know what's going on. I'll just go to sleep."
Yeah, I waited until I heard you snore to get out of bed. I wanted to make sure that you were asleep, because like you really had some trouble falling asleep this morning.
I also didn't want to continue watching the Flintstones because I'm like on the Wikipedia, like looking at what episodes are coming up, and the one with the Twitch is not the next one, but the one after. So I'm like, look, if I watch this next episode, I'm gonna want to watch that episode, or if I fall asleep during this next episode, I'm gonna miss that episode. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put something else on so I can just go to sleep and not worry about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. What did I fall asleep to last night? Better Off Ted, or was it already over then?
No, I think it was over by then. You fell asleep to, I don't know, something on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. But we caught a few episodes of Better Off Ted, and that was pretty freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that show was pretty funny. I'll give it some
witty.
credit.
Yeah.
We got there from, you were watching Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, which apparently only lasted 2 seasons.
I mean, they couldn't really do much more with that story.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't want to like develop the characters to the point where you didn't like them anymore, you know?
I guess. That's fair.
Yeah. Starting to get feelings for Chloe, you know? Like relating to the bitch in Apartment 23. Jasmine loves that show. Yeah,
I see that.
I would imagine. Yep. Kristen Ritter is a babe. Is that the one that plays Chloe Jasmine?
I think it is.
I don't think she's a babe at all, but I think that her characters are always hilarious.
But I ended up, but me, I'm just like, what can I watch that I used to watch when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Hey, look, The Simpsons. Hey, look, The Flintstones. Hey, look, The Jetsons.
Yeah.
I thought about putting on South Park. That had crossed my mind, but then I saw King of the Hill. I'm like, nope, that's the one.
Yeah.
She's Chloe. She also plays Jessica Jones, who is a bad bitch.
Who's Jessica Jones?
From the TV series, Jessica Jones. I don't know anything more than that.
Oh.
So do not ask follow-up questions.
Ahead of me. Hey, I like your T-shirt.
My T-shirt. On the Cinder.
Yeah.
On the Cinder. I like those.
I wonder when your video
I like that band. I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
We should ask soon. I'm excited for your video. I didn't really want my video for real to come out.
I don't want
but it was for charity. But yours was, you did such a good job,
No,
and it was so fun.
Don't listen to
and
her.
I was sitting there with like this huge smile on my face, like I was thoroughly amused.
When it comes out, donate a bunch of money to Jericho Road.
Yeah.
And don't watch it.
or do both. Do both. Come on, do both.
Laura says she fell asleep watching someone with braided hair playing NHL. Laura, why are you watching other people play NHL when you can watch me play NHL? Stop bumping the table.
Listen, let me fidget for a second, and then I'll settle in. Settling in. All right. Is my makeup smeared?
I don't think so. No.
It was a shadow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Jasmine's going to come over and play on Friday.
All right.
We're probably going to decorate some cookies.
Okay.
Because I made a lot of Valentine's Day cookies. And guess how many sales I have for Valentine's Day cookies?
A lot?
1.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is like fine. I just have a freezer full of heart-shaped cookies. Cookies are buy 1 dozen, get 1 dozen half off if you guys are interested. I don't think I can ship to the UK though.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I still have to ship some cookies to Caleb in New Hampshire. I have the cookies. They're ready. They're ready for you, Caleb. I don't think he's listening. He would have said something. But they're in my freezer because I haven't had the determination to write him a note and gather stuff for his box to send to him. But it'll get there eventually.
Yep.
I'm
sure will.
I'm sure of it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I stayed at my mom's this weekend.
Yes, you did.
And I went and helped my buddy out, cleaning like his shop and garage and stuff like that. And then he dropped me off at my mom's house. I stayed at my mom's house. And I have all these fucking keys on my key ring. And I'm holding McDonald's, I'm holding French fries, I'm holding a drink, I'm holding my purse, and I'm holding these fucking keys. And I keep just putting the same fucking key in the hole, and it wouldn't work. And apparently, like, this happens every time I go to, it's not even just at mom's house, it's here too. And I actually, like, we have one of the keys that has like 3 holes in the top. So I actually have our house key on like an off-center hole.
Sure.
And I still fuck it up. I got to paint them with like neon nail polish, like different colors, you know?
You're not here, so I'm bored, and I'm just like, what am I spending money on? So I paid Kevin to write a script for things you might not know. And I got it this morning. It's really, really well done, which means
Cool.
I have to eventually like figure out
Actually do it.
like actually do it.
Yeah.
I think my problem right now is I want to just put the teleprompter on the camera, but the TV's in the way, and I can't move the TV any further from where
Can
it
you
is.
move the camera?
No, they're both out as far as they can go. So I have an extra arm that I can extend out for the TV, but I'm missing like a washer or something that
Oh,
fits
a washer? We can find a washer.
But let me show you the washer.
Yeah.
Let me show you, because it's not your traditional washer. I don't even know if I have it. Oh yeah, here it is. It's
Okay, I'm going to tell you that it doesn't matter if it is a traditional shaped thing unless it's because of where it sits in here.
yeah, it's got a thing that holds it in place. See.
You might be able to use a round one.
Which I have those around here, and the other one of these is around here somewhere too. So maybe I'll get that hooked up and then move the TV out a little so I can put the teleprompter on the camera and do things you might not know. Get back to work on those because I've got a fantastic new script that was written for me by Special K Media. But he's not accepting new orders right now, so don't go looking for him to write you a script.
I have a throat tickle and I'm going to cough a whole bunch more, so you go ahead and do your thing.
So I sent him a message. I sent him a message after I got it. I'm like, dude, I didn't see your note in your gig until until like just now. So I'm sorry for ordering it. Oh no, that doesn't apply to you. That applies to people I don't want to work for.
Right.
Like, man, I should put that in my gig.
So, are you going to give us any hints about
Nope.
what?
You already know anyway, but
Yeah, but you know I have like the memory of a goldfish.
yeah, well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I do smoke a lot of weed.
It's about some dude in the 90s who wrote a bunch of hit songs and offed himself, so.
Okay, that could be anybody.
Yeah. That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
All it means is I'm interested.
Yeah, there's references to other ones of those in the.
Yeah. Okay, well.
So yeah, that did narrow it down.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to see or hear Kevin's work. Also,
I gotta give him credit. Like I sent him my topic, and I said this is where I want to focus. He wrote me back. He said, "Well, how do how what kind of tone do you want with this?" So I sent him my Warped Tour video. I said something like this.
Okay.
And I think he nailed the vibe.
Cool.
And nailed like the topic that I wanted to get on. Like my previous writer. She had, I had sent her, there's a Things You Might Not Know video out. It is, the Swedish coffee ban video. If you go watch that one. And it talks about, King so-and-so of Sweden, King Gustav of Sweden, and how he, thought that coffee was bad for you and wanted to prove it. And he put these two prisoners on. One was drinking tea. They were identical twins who were convicted of murder or whatever. One of them had tea. The other one had coffee, and that's all they would serve them.
Wow.
As far as beverages. And they both ended up outliving King Gustav.
That's great.
So
Good for them.
So he didn't prove anything, and allegedly the coffee drinker outlived the tea drinker. But anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is my previous writer, when I sent her that idea, I said, I want to talk about Sweden banning coffee in such and such century and King so-and-so's role in this and the experiment that and I just get this bio of King Gustav the third or whatever and I'm just like,
not quite.
I'm like, I really love your work. And I really hate to tell you did this wrong or like ask for a revision, but I really need this to focus more on the coffee than on the king.
Okay.
But to her credit, she had a new script to me in half an hour that was perfect.
Oh, shit.
And it's and that's what's in the final video.
Could you imagine, like, in high school writing a paper and then, like, having to rewrite it in half an hour?
I didn't ask her to do it in a half. She just did it in a half.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, could you imagine doing that in high school? Like, you take a whole fucking semester to do your project, and then it's like, oh, well, redo this by tomorrow if you could?
That would imply that I was actually doing my work in school. So, Yeah, no. Which, I mean, like, I wrote a bunch of the early things you might not know. And then once, this writer reached out to me, I was like, you know what? I don't know anybody who needs a writer, but I'll hire you. And so I hired her, and she did a few of the, a few of the later ones. Like, I think everything after Warped Tour was done by her. Okay. Unless the Jurassic Park one was after Warped Tour. It was like after that, but it was like the last like 2 or 3 episodes. And, she did such a good job on the first one. And I still have one of her scripts. It is on my phone in the teleprompter app. So all I have to do is hook up my teleprompter and get my camera to play nice with it, which was the problem in the first place. I couldn't get the camera to play nice with it. But I can absolutely get the camera to play nice with it if I set everything up and then hook the computer up so I can control it via USB. I'll be able to like set it to manual focus once it auto focuses. So that way it's not like going in and out of focus. It just stays at the same focus. But I have a script from her that still needs to get recorded. And now I got this script from Kevin that needs to get recorded.
So does that mean that we're actually going to get 2 episodes of Things You Might Not Know?
Maybe. I'd like to maybe get a few more scripts lined up before I start releasing stuff, so that way I can keep, just keep going.
Yeah.
So, maybe we'll see those in the next month or 2.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, it's, just, but like I said, I sent him the Warped Tour video and he was like, oh, here's the script. And it's like, man, that's exactly what I would have wanted.
Great. How long did that take him?
I think he took like the full, it wasn't like the full, like he didn't deliver it last minute, but it was like a couple of days.
Yeah. How long do they usually allow for jobs? Like,
it depends on the seller.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think his was set to 2 days, and he got it to me within. So, I had a guy last week, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna send you all these scripts, but I need them like right away when I send them." And I'm like, and he goes, oh no, just like, I need them in such and such. So he sends me an order, and then 5 hours later, he's in my audio, and he's in my inbox, and he's like, "Hey man, when am I getting my order?" Ooh. Like, now you're not getting it until fucking 23:59. You paid for 24 hours delivery. Yeah. You'll get it within the 24 hours. And so like, he had also messaged me, which now I have to reply to because it was his first message to me. So I have to reply or it affects my response rate. So I replied to him. I said, "Listen, man, trust me to deliver your order before the deadline. Yeah. You don't need to message me 5 hours after you order and say, 'Where's my script?' You're going to get it in the time you paid for." Like, I'm not. And then I had a guy yesterday or 2 days ago. He's like, places a $5 order. "I need it within 24 hours. Didn't pay for 24-hour delivery. So as far as I'm concerned, that message doesn't exist. Right. I don't see the message until I open the order. And I'm not opening the order if it's due in more than 24 hours when I'm like tired and want to go to bed and just did a bunch of like way more expensive orders. I hear you. So that dude got his order, and he's in my inbox. "I need it within 14 hours. My job's due in 14 hours. Like, that's not my problem. My job's due in 20 hours. Yeah. What do you want from me? Like, I don't care when your job is due. I know when my job is due. Yeah. If you want it faster, you can ask for it. You can message me directly before you order and say, 'Hey man, is there any chance, could you do this in such and such time?'" Like, I've got one client, he pays me, he orders one order, $100. Okay. And that is payment for future jobs totaling to $100. And he messaged me the other night. I was in the studio. He said, here's a $5 order for you. I need it within 13 to 16 hours. So I recorded it within like 13 to 16 minutes. I was like, was this fast enough? He goes, oh man, that was really fast. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm either going to do this now, if you need it in 13 to 16 hours. I'm either going to do it now or you're going to get it late.
Right.
I would rather do it now. You know, so I mean, if this guy would have messaged me first and said, hey, I need this fast of a delivery and I only have $5, then maybe I would have been like, yeah, okay, dude, you know, it's such a short script. Let me, you know, give you a custom offer for 24. Like, I'm an asshole most of the time when it comes to shit like that, but I'm not that much of an asshole that, like, if the dude only has $5, be like, I'll do it for you this time, dude. Just next time, make sure, you know, like, make sure you got it. Cause you know,
That's what you do here.
yeah, like I have my deliveries are 48 hours for a reason. This is Wrong the Oppressor. They have something new out. Is that what's going on?
Yes. What is it? I think it's an EP. It's called Our Dreams Were Meant to Die. And I'm not sure what the release date is, but it's new.
Well, I mean, it's apparently already
It's
out.
Yeah. I don't know when it came out. But
And you can listen to it on Spotify. And this is Wrong the Oppressor, and the song is called Days Are Numbered on all WNY. Think So Joe Show. All right, that was Wrong the Oppressor, the song called Days Are Numbered on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Got to get on a show with those guys when we're able to do shows.
That'd be cool. I'm just
for
cleaning
sure.
up
That
the
was
studio.
fun.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of all your junk that was over there?
Yeah, I guess that is what it is. It's my junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave shoes in here too.
Yes, you do.
And look, I'm gonna leave some more.
Yeah, and then I step on them and I'm like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, what the fuck, Karina? And then I come to bed and I'm angry because I stepped on your shoes, and you're
Really, you're angry?
and then you're all cute, and I'm like, oh. And then I'm not angry anymore.
I'm so lucky I'm cute.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wrong the Oppressor, good stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, what were we just talking about? We weren't even talking about anything.
No, we weren't. You were. I was responding to Think Metal in the chat there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I was responding, and bring back a minute with ThinkSoJoE. Like, you get 120 minutes with me every week.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
Well, I mean, we either need a minute with ThinkSoJoE or things you don't know. We need one or the other, at least.
Look who's in the chat.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
His band's being played later on in the show, so 120 minutes is not. Yeah, for me it is. I mean, you could watch my Twitch streams, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but
Yeah.
if you don't get enough of me here, but yes. Anyway, I think 120 minutes is plenty of us because I'm just like, what do we talk about now? We talked about everything. Anyway,
we get to the point where we're just like, anyway.
I haven't even bought anything cool this week to be like, let me talk about. Actually, that's not entirely true. I did finally get one of the albums in my Discogs want list.
Which one was that?
I got Metallica's Beyond Magnetic.
All right.
I got it for $60. I was super excited about that. Taking a break from the Think So Priory. There's been so many of those.
Yeah, those have been great.
I catch them every Friday night before they post them on social media because I'm like on YouTube, watching YouTube while I'm working.
Okay.
And it's just like, oh look, there's another Think So Priory video. Like I'm all over their channel.
Yeah, well.
Ever since I called them out for not mentioning me in their season ending, their season 2 ender, or season 3 ender rather, or mid-season break or whatever it was. I'm just like, you're talking about season 2 and you didn't mention me at all. Come on. Like, so I do eventually plan on doing more intro videos for
that'll be cool.
for the Naked Dan show.
That'll be very fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually jealous because, like, any reason to hang out with those guys.
Oh, for sure. Well, I'm going to do them from here. Safety, safety first.
Well, what if we all wear masks and I go hang out too?
Dan actually texted us last week during the show because he was listening on YouTube and then the YouTube cut out like 20 minutes in.
Oh, yeah.
So he texted us just to say hi and see how we were doing. So,
oh, how nice.
But yeah, I miss everybody. I don't even know when the last time I saw those guys is.
Were they at Head PE?
I think Dan was, but I don't think Nick was.
Dan was.
So I don't know when the last time I saw Nick was. It was a long time ago, and I miss you, dude.
Hugs, dude.
We had him on Zoom the one time.
We did have him on Zoom, but I mean, real life in person, Nick Lacido is just a one of a kind experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully soon be able to hang out. And last time he saw me was the Native Howl show.
Yes, that was a great show.
With 96 Bitter Beings and the Locust Groove. Grove? Was it Grove? Locust Grove.
Yes,
okay.
Locust Grove.
I have their T-shirt. You think I'd know?
Yeah. Anyway. Well, you don't look at your own T-shirt so much.
I couldn't find. I was looking for that show on that shirt on the anniversary of it. I couldn't find it, so I'm like, I guess I'm not wearing it today. Yeah, Nick says it's better that he's one of a kind.
Though, and I was hoping there would be a reason to mention this. I was in a play called Wednesday, long ass time ago, like 16 years ago. And one of the characters was based on Nick Lacido.
I'm aware of this.
And it was great. Like, it was probably not any good to anybody outside of our little circle of friends. But the fact that somebody made a character out of Nick Lacido was like, yeah, you know what? He is a little larger than life. We do need to put a Nick Lacido being on stage. And it was really funny. And it was cool because Nick came to see it.
Yeah. I could definitely see Nick being a character in a play.
Yeah, he's
looking at one of the shirts from the play.
Oh my gosh, I still have my Wednesday shirt. I don't think it's here. I think it's at my mom's, but it's safe. Wherever it is, it's safe. It does not fit me anymore.
To my knowledge, I haven't had anybody write any plays about me. So,
Do you think if they did, they would be writing anything nice or anything mean?
Depends who's writing it.
I guess
I don't
you're
know.
right. I guess you're right.
Some people in my
Sorry, I made you break into song. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable and break into song.
I'm sure there are some people out there who, in their minds, think I'm the bad guy. So I'm sure some people
I can't even imagine that.
I can't either, but it happens.
Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know.
You don't actually have to tell me like any like conflicts you have with people over there.
You know about conflicts I've had with people,
yeah.
so you know.
Don't have to, lay the cards on the table or whatever.
No. Yeah. Anyway, there's somebody in the chat that has the name of a show that I was allegedly on with an alleged person who allegedly thinks I'm the bad guy. So it's Think Metal.
Oh.
Show never existed because the co-host never existed.
Oh.
He says he was never in a band with me, so I say I anything that he was in never existed.
Oh, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Fuck that guy. Hey, what's this? Is this a sticker?
Sticker from a record store, yes.
Not
a local record store.
Hold this for a second, please.
Karina's knocking stuff off my desk.
I got it.
It's her own stuff.
I got it.
It's a sticker.
We're good.
It's a sticker from a record store. 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, go records.
1, 2, 3, 4, go records.
1, 2, 3, 4, go records.
I bought a Bomb Pops record from them.
Oh.
And then like 2 days later, I bought a Bomb Pops record from Fat Records, like directly.
Oh, directly, yeah.
And the Fat Records one got here first. They were both coming from California. They both that was the 1, 2, 3, 4, go one shipped out first.
And got here second.
And got here second. And then when I got it, I'm trying to think if it was the first one. Well, whatever. When I got their newest one, I don't remember which place I ordered the newest one from. I posted it to Instagram, and they put it in their story.
Oh, neat.
So that was pretty cool. Like, hey, I'm in the Bomb Pop story.
That is cool.
And Brian's like, oh, you went through my collection again, didn't you? I'm like, no, YouTube just recommended them. And I'm like, hey, this band's actually not too bad. I'm going to buy their, let me check out some of their music.
So now we got to get you getting some bad cop, bad cop.
That would be the next probable thing.
Yes.
Marilyn Manson's in trouble. Did you see?
I did see.
So
I didn't read any of the articles, though. The headlines honestly upset me
enough
that I was like, I'll hear about this later, you know?
So Evan Rachel Wood, who is Marilyn Manson's ex-fiance,
yes,
months and months and months ago, testified somewhere or gave a statement somewhere where she talked about some abuse she had suffered when she was like 18, 19.
Jeez.
And everybody knew who she was talking about, but she didn't name names. Everybody knew because who was she dating when she was 18 or 19? Oh, guess who it was? It was Marilyn Manson.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So at that time, I'm like, okay, like he had a new album coming out. I'm like, well, now I don't want his new album.
Yeah.
I was already like, I don't want to, his last 5 albums have all sounded the same, yet 2 of them are somehow better than the others. So I wasn't really like feeling buying the album anyway. But then that came out, so I'm like, okay, now I'm definitely not going to buy this album. And she implied it was him, and she never actually said it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm also not going to play Mechanical Animals on Spotify to fall asleep anymore, or on YouTube Music or whatever. Because that's what I was doing was, even though I have the CD, I have the album on my phone, I was putting it on Spotify because it's like just convenient.
It's convenient, yeah.
Just because that was like my fall asleep record was Mechanical Animals. And I haven't, I have listened to some Manson since then. just not on like Spotify, not anywhere where he's gonna get a monetary cut that he
Okay.
hasn't already gotten.
All right.
And so I kind of I removed Mechanical Animals from my Discogs want list. There's a Mechanical Animals copy or vinyl 2-disc album. One is white and the other one is translucent blue, like the CD case was for Mechanical Animals, where you put it over the stuff of the liner notes with the yellow and blue make green.
Yeah, like a
to
secret message.
Find the secret messages and all
Yeah.
that. Master of Puppets is your fall asleep album. I don't know if I could fall asleep to Master of Puppets.
I know I couldn't fall asleep to that trash.
Thrash. You missed an H. Anyway, so, but that was in my want list for the longest time because it was going for like $100.
Oh.
Occasionally it would pop up or it was going for 200, and occasionally it would pop up for 100. But the 100 was like blue disc only, white disc only. So it's like,
Oh.
who the fuck wants that?
No.
If I'm gonna buy an album, I want the whole fucking album. So when she first alleged or made these statements, not naming names, I took that out of my want list and I stopped listening. Basically, stopped listening to him or giving a fuck about him in general. And I didn't. You remember when he played Rapids, and I was like, I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
And that was before she said any of that.
It was.
So I was already like growing out of Marilyn Manson, newer Marilyn Manson anyway, and like I thought he just looked like a drug-addled fucking loser on stage in videos I seen from that tour. Okay. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to go see Marilyn Manson suck.
Yeah, if you wanted to see somebody be all fucked up, like there's probably like really more interesting ways than on stage.
I'm sure.
Like intermingling with them, you know.
Than paying $30 or $40 for a ticket to go
Yeah.
see him do it. And I've seen Manson 4 times.
He's probably past his prime.
I would not say I've seen a bad Manson show. I've heard of bad Manson shows in between the shows I've seen.
Okay.
But I haven't personally seen a bad Manson show. But then seeing like the clips from that tour that he came to Rapids on, I'm like, I'm not going to this. I want nothing to do with this. I don't want to see him up on stage falling over and hurting himself and, you know, just...
That's not a good show.
No.
It's a show, but it's not a good show.
So I was already, like, practically out of Manson, like... And then a couple of days ago, he's trending on Twitter. It's like, what did he do now? And that's always, like, did he die?
Yeah,
That's the first thought that comes to mind whenever anybody's trending on Twitter. Is he dead? And the answer was no. It was she did an Instagram post. Evan Rachel Wood did, saying, "My abuser's name is Brian Warner, better known as Marilyn Manson." And then like 3 or 4 other women like came out and were like, "This is how he treated me when we dated."
Wow.
And it's just like.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. And so it's like, man, I'm really glad I took his album out of my Discogs and took his, you know, decided not to spend any more money on this guy. And like, so I'm seeing people post about this on social media, and I'm trying to come up with the words to basically articulate how I'm feeling as a longtime Marilyn Manson fan, somebody who credits Antichrist Superstar for my world view to a point.
Right.
You know, like the reflecting God. I went to God just to see it, and I was looking at me. That's like, that line has stuck with me my entire life. And I'm just like, man, I can't, like, this is so hard. Like, and people are talking about how, you know, you got to separate the artist from the art. And it's like, how?
Yeah.
How do you do this knowing this shit that he's allegedly done? He says, no, anything that I've done with these women was all consensual. The way it sounds from Evan Rachel Wood's telling of it is she was like gaslighted into it. She didn't know any better. She was 18.
Yeah, she was just a kid.
So yeah, maybe it was consensual, but she didn't know any better. And she's been living with this for the last however many years.
Wow.
So it's like, man, you know, but as I'm writing this stuff, and I never posted any of it because, like, as I'm writing it, I'm like, man, I really want to listen to Antichrist Superstar. And I'm like, but I don't want to listen to Antichrist Superstar. I'm so torn.
Yeah.
Like, I love that album, and that album fundamentally changed me as a person when I was, 16 or whatever, or whenever that album came out, and helped shape my worldview. And I'm so torn about, do I listen to this? Like, I have people who have personally wronged me in my, playlist on my phone, not my playlist, but like on my phone.
On your phone, yeah. In your CD collection.
In my CD collection.
Yeah.
Then I'm not gonna, when it comes on, I'm like, I'm not listening to this. Thanks for hanging out, Nick. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming by. Anyway, but when it comes up like on random on my phone, I'm like, I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
But it's still there because, like, if maybe I'll get those good memories of that person, and so it's like, I don't want to get rid of these Manson albums from my phone because I've been listening to the Manson since the mid '90s.
Yeah,
I've owned all of his albums up to his last one, not the most recent, the one before that. I didn't buy because it's like, well, I got fucking Google Play. Why the hell do I need? Why the hell do I need to pay money for this when I know it's not going to be good? And it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was still not anything memorable. But I left like a Marilyn Manson fan group and all this shit. Like once she initially implied that he did all this stuff to her, and I mean, like some of the shit he did was like, this one girl's like, oh, he tied me up and raped me. And then while I'm tied up naked to the bed and sleeping, he's taking pictures and sending them to his friends without my consent. And I'm like,
shit.
Who the fuck does that? That is a fucked up thing to do.
It really is.
Whether or not the sex was consensual, if he was taking naked pictures of her while she was sleeping and sent them to her friends without or his friends without her knowing about it, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, you can't do that. So it's like, no, I as much as I really was like, man, I really want to listen to Antichrist Superstar right now. I'm like, I really don't want to listen to Antichrist Superstar right now. I don't want to support this guy.
Yeah.
And that's a really tough one for me, I mean, how many artists out there are pieces of shit that you still listen to, but this one's really tough for me because it's like, man, I've been to this guy's shows ever since I was, let me see, the first time I saw Manson was 98. I think maybe 99.
Yeah.
It was right before Columbine, so 99.
Okay. Oh wow.
Because that tour got canceled. The rest of the tour
because they blamed Marilyn Manson for that.
Yeah. So the first time I saw him was in 99, and the last time I saw him was 7 or 8 years ago with Alice Cooper. And
I bet that was a really cool show.
Oh, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Manson was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you don't think Brian Warner the person is a fucked up person, I mean, why is his entire band different now than it was back then?
True.
Like, why don't these guys stick around?
True.
I mean, and then there was stories of like, the battle between him and his original drummer, and like all the like, where his original drummer was like, this dude's a fucking asshole.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know, and just, I mean, that was years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, if you didn't think Marilyn Manson was a fucked up human being to begin with, you weren't paying enough attention.
That's true. I mean, to create that character, Marilyn Manson, I mean...
Sure.
That takes...
And stories from, like, the Antichrist Superstar tour and like, before that, like, Portrait of American Family, and when he was in Marilyn Manson's, like, stories of these tours. And, like, even in his book, it's like, man, if you didn't know this guy was fucked up, you weren't paying attention. But, geez, like, to hear it from people who were victims.
Right.
It's one thing when it's like, oh, he's just, it's just debauchery.
Yeah, yeah.
It's another thing when it's like, no, I didn't consent to any of this stuff that happened. And it's like, oh man, like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, tell me if you're watching live. Tell me in the chat, and if you're not watching live, you can, comment
along anyways.
Comment on the page or whatever. Tell me, how
We'll see the comments.
How, if you do you separate the artist from the art when something like this happens with an artist that I don't want to say looked up to. I would never say I looked up to Marilyn Manson. I don't think he was a hero in any sense of the word. I think
he was an anti-hero.
I think his and showed me, like, I don't have to believe in any kind of God or anything like that, and can look at myself in that way. Something's going on with the all WNY stream where nothing is moving, but that's
I see that.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that when I go to upload the podcast later. Make sure that you're getting a full experience, but it's recording on the board and it's recording the video, so we're good. Yeah. But anyway, but my I would never call him a hero of mine, but he did open my eyes to
he influenced you.
Different ways of thinking influenced me. Yeah, sure. To a point where when I was in the original incarnation of ThinkSoBrain, we were talking about, we should do a Manson tribute band.
Really?
I wasn't gonna sing. I was gonna play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And my bass player, who doesn't exist, he was gonna play bass, and my guitarist was gonna sing.
Okay.
So, which that guy got kicked out of a band pretty recently for.
Oh. Okay.
All
right.
Not Marilyn Manson level shit, I don't think. Not shit on this level, but
sound like from what I've heard.
No, but I mean, still shit that
not groovy.
Yeah, not groovy. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So, what are some other artists that you have like lost some respect for that have influenced you?
So my cat, Whisper, is actually named in a roundabout way.
Okay, I know where this is going.
From a song by Lost Prophets.
Okay.
And if you think what Manson has done to these women is fucked up, go read about the dude from Lost Prophets. And again, that wasn't a band that was like anything influential in me, influential to me. I knew a couple of their songs, but at the time they were they had a song called Rooftops, and WWE were using it for like promo videos for Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
And Jeff Hardy has a signature move called the Whisper in the Wind. And when we found Whisper, we rescued him from a rooftop. And it was around that time. So we named him after the Jeff Hardy signature move, Whisper in the Wind.
Okay.
Because it was relatable to how we found him.
Right.
And then all the stories start coming out about this dude got arrested and was like, having sex with infants and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, my God. Oh, he was the one that was like, the mothers were in jail and he was still, I don't know.
No, he was in jail.
He was in jail and he was still getting access to the kids?
Yes. How? Mothers are bringing their children to the fucking prison so they could sleep with this guy and he could have his way with the kids.
That's,
Like, and we're not talking like, 3, 4, 5-year-olds. We're talking like
infants.
Babies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Like, yeah, I would never say that guy was any kind of influence in my life other than the name of my fucking cat, but it's still like, anytime I think of how my cat got his name, I got to think of this fucking guy now, right? I don't know. I mean, like...
And, it's not even so much for me that, like, these people influence my life. It's that it's real that people can treat each other in these horrible ways.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean...
like, that is very, very real that, people go through this kind of trauma.
Yeah, I mean, reading the Marilyn Manson, like the article about Marilyn Manson and all these, women who have come out and said, hey, this is what he did to me. He would put me in the closet and he would lock me in the closet if I was bad. and make me listen while he entertained other women. Like, dude, not cool. So, you know, just like reading these stories, it's like, holy shit. Like, I knew this dude was a shitty person, but man, he
There's
is
levels
really
of
fucking shitty.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want to
Yeah.
associate with him anymore. And, you know, at the same time, like, he's already got a shit ton of my money from the last 30 years of fucking being a Marilyn Manson fan, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I can't do anything about that, but I can not contribute any more money to anything, you know, anything
Right.
he's doing. So, and that's what I'm attempting to do, is not listen to him on Spotify or Google, or not buy his albums or hear any of his new music or anything like that, not watch his music videos, none of that shit. So, you know, what are you going to do?
Sorry, I keep fucking with shit.
Yes, you do.
Sorry.
Anyways,
I'm done.
so here's a guy who's less of a shitty person. Anyway, love you, Brian.
Aw, this guy.
Yeah, no, Brian's one of my
This guy
best
is the
friends. and
greatest.
yes, absolutely. My former co-host here on the ThinkSoJoE show when we started 5 years ago today.
Today.
Crazy. This is Silence the Cynic, and this is a song Living Brain Dead's covered a few times. It's called Hey You on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show. And it starts in just a second here. So here it is.
Are you this white picket fence? Where do you think you're going? Kerosene in the veins. You think I'm insane? Maybe you're crazy. Don't you understand? This is getting out of hand. Your beliefs will never solve. We're no longer taking the fall. Hey, Miss Daring, what are you staring at? You're the one who's normal. Just stereotype. You've done it all your life. Just prosecute me. Don't you understand? This is getting out of hand. Your beliefs will never solve. We're no longer taking the fall. Don't you understand? This is getting out of hand. Your beliefs will never solve. We're no longer taking the fall. You will never understand. This was always your plan. We will stand up for ourselves, and you can go to
Silence the Cynic on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show.
Yeah.
I say all WNY even though somehow we're not broadcasting on all WNY. I don't know what happened there. Everything else is working.
Yeah. We think.
No, I can tell you we're still on YouTube and all that, and we're recording to the board, and we're recording the video to the computer, so I can just upload to YouTube if I need to, if anything were to go wrong in that regard.
Okay.
Unlike last
but
week.
nothing's gonna go wrong. Nothing.
Anyway, So yeah.
So yeah, some more artists that have let us down in ways similar to Marilyn Manson and Lost Prophets, dude.
I mean, I
the
think
big one that sticks out for me, like this is not an artist that was very influential to me, but influential to people that I've listened to. Fucking Michael Jackson.
so. Let's talk about Michael Jackson for a minute because obviously there's these allegations against Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And obviously people believe them.
Mm-hmm.
And like to a point where Fox, prior to the Disney merger, had removed the Simpsons episode he was in.
Oh.
And it has never been on Disney Plus.
That was a good episode.
It was a great episode.
It was a really good one.
And it's a classic. But this all took place, Fox removing the episode and all that, took place when HBO released a documentary about Michael Jackson that the filmmakers basically said, here's how we know Michael Jackson did all this shit.
Oh.
Okay? But then the filmmakers came out and said, yeah, we lied about all that shit.
Oh.
So to this day, we don't know for sure.
That's true.
And so, I've bought, since he's passed, I've bought Michael Jackson records and Michael Jackson DVDs and CDs. I've seen his tour, the This Is It. I went to the theaters and saw that. And then bought it on Blu-ray the day it came out.
Yeah.
Because I like Michael Jackson, and I it's never been proven. Yeah, he's a weird fucking dude.
Well,
he was a weird he was a weird fucking dude.
He was a weird dude.
And I'm not saying he didn't do any of that stuff. I'm saying that I can
You don't know that he did that
kind of
stuff.
say I don't know, and nobody's really, like, you don't see anybody actually come out and say, hey, yeah, Michael Jackson did this to me when I was a kid.
Mm.
And you would think, like, when he died, you would get a shit ton of those.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would think.
You would.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to go out and support Michael Jackson, and I'm not, like, rushing out to buy every little, nostalgia piece that they put out. But I'm not convinced enough to be like, oh, no, fuck that guy. I'm not listening to him ever again.
What about Pantera?
What about Pantera?
Wasn't one of the dudes, like, super racist?
I don't...
They're from Texas.
what the fuck is his name? Phil Anselmo. Everybody was, Phil Anselmo's just an asshole. Everybody knows that. So,
Okay.
and I don't think that was ever, a secret that he was an asshole. I don't know if he was racist or anything like that. I'm sure he probably was. How about, let's talk about some artists that have played here in recent times. Michael Graves of the Misfits.
Yeah. There's a good one.
That dude completely outed himself as
Not that he was the best singer of the Misfits ever. Anyways.
No, absolutely not. But he completely outed himself as
he
a
did.
fucking piece of shit racist to a point where, bands are dropping off his shows and
Shows are getting canceled.
promoters are saying, no, you know what, we can't work with you.
Yeah.
And then of course Trapped, but I don't think anybody.
Did anyone like them?
I don't think anybody ever looked up to the dude from Trapped. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll tell you, the first time I ever heard Headstrong, I was on my way to Seattle. And I was like,
For
oh, man,
WrestleMania?
For WrestleMania.
For
And I'm like,
WrestleMania.
this song is really fucking good. And then like 3 months later, when Buffalo Radio started playing it, I was like, oh yeah, I already heard this song. This song's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then like it's the only song I've ever heard by them.
I feel like I know that I've heard at least one more song by them. I couldn't tell you what it is. If it came on the radio, I couldn't tell you. But I feel like they had another single.
I think depending on what genre you listen to, you have different answers for that question. I mean, there's obviously like a bunch of the emo vocalists and people from emo bands that we've had personal stories told to us about.
Right.
And I couldn't name any names. I don't know the names of these people.
Know anybody personally. We probably do know people personally who are scumbags like this.
No, I'm sure we do.
They're not outed.
Yeah.
Let's hope we don't know many.
Right. I mean, so yeah, there's not really anybody that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, a lot of artists that are very popular artists have these stories out about them.
Have the allegations.
Not nearly as bad as Manson.
Right. I think
but
it's just so easy to believe about Marilyn Manson.
I think that's probably...
he would do really fucked up shit because, look at his art.
I think that's probably the case. I don't... I mean, especially, some of these stories are kind of, similar to one another, so it's
yeah.
These women who are all exes of Marilyn Manson, are they all calling each other on the phone hey, you know what we should do?
Right, yeah. He was a jerk. Let's get even with him.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people like that who would do that. But let's all discourage that kind of behavior because those allegations are bad enough. If somebody's making them, they deserve to be believed.
Let's talk about famous people who would never be accused of anything like this, let alone anybody believe if they were accused of anything like this. And I say this because I'm looking at this box of mints right here.
Aww.
And,
let's get out of here.
Bob Ross. Nobody's ever had... You ever heard a bad word about Bob Ross?
He fed baby squirrels on episode 1 of The Joy of Painting.
It was his pet squirrel.
Well, they bred squirrels.
Right.
And, yes. And, fucking, I don't know. I would have, when I was a child, I would have said Bill Cosby, but we all know how that ended up.
Bill Cosby. Fuck.
Didn't he seem wholesome?
He seemed wholesome, but he sure as hell wasn't.
You don't know who to trust.
No, I guess not. And then, but how about Dolly Parton? You ever heard a bad thing about Dolly Parton?
No, she was just in the news.
Yeah, she was offered the presidential medal or whatever, some medal from the president, and she declined. And she said, "I didn't decline because it's Donald Trump. I declined because I didn't feel safe going out with COVID going around."
Oh.
And she said she's not sure if she'll accept it from Joe Biden either, because of the situation.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to get sick and doesn't want to get her husband sick.
Yeah.
And I did a voiceover about Dolly Parton. I think it was for Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a story in there where, she'd been dating her boyfriend at the time for a while, and he proposed, and her record label was like, no, you can't get married because we want people to think you're single, and we want men to want to think they can have you, And so she went out that weekend, got married, didn't tell anybody.
Good for her.
And a year later, she's talking to a record exec, and he's like, "See, aren't you glad you didn't get married?" She's like, "Honey, I got married the weekend you told me not to." And she's been married to the same guy ever since. So
that's nice.
Who else came to Weird Al Yankovic? You ever hear anybody say anything bad about Weird Al Yankovic?
Well, somebody didn't want him to cover his music. Who
that was
that?
Coolio.
Coolio, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the story with that was Coolio did Amish Paradise, the parody of Gangsta's Paradise. Yeah. Weird Al says, as far as that, he talked to Coolio's people, and Coolio's people were like, "Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead."
Okay.
And then Coolio was like, "What the fuck? Why did you parody my song? This song means a lot.
Yeah.
Like this song has a lot of meaning. I would have never let you do this."
Yeah.
And Al's like, "I thought I had permission. I'm sorry." And we'll talk about that in a second, Brian. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. We will talk about Paul McCartney in a second about the vegan.
Yes.
Which Paul McCartney didn't want Al. That's what he's talking about. Paul McCartney didn't want Weird Al to do a song, a parody of "Live and Let Die," which Al was going to call "Chicken Pot Pie."
Okay.
And Paul said, well, you can do it, but it's got to be tofu pot pie because I don't eat chicken and I don't want to endorse eating chicken. And so it never had. I think
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
I think Al has like performed chicken pot pie in concert, but never like commercially released it to make any money off of it or anything because Paul asked him. Which Paul, the reason Lisa is a vegetarian in The Simpsons is because Paul McCartney,
Paul and Apu.
when Paul did the guest spot on the Lisa the Vegetarian episode, he said, "I will do this episode, but if Lisa's going to turn vegetarian by the end of this episode, she has to stay. She has to stay a vegetarian through the remainder of the series, and to this day, she has, aside from like one-off jokes about it.
Oh yeah,
she has been a vegetarian." But Al and Coolio were like beefing for a while because Al is like, "I thought I had permission," and Coolio's like, "Fuck you,"
I really thought it was somebody else. I didn't think it was Coolio.
No, and finally, Coolio's like, "Look, I understand, man. It's cool. No, I would have never given you permission, but if you thought you had permission and you did it, we're cool."
Yeah.
Lady Gaga actually had the opposite problem with Weird Al Yankovic, in a sense of he was going to do the song Polka Face. No, excuse me. Was it Polka Face? I
don't know.
I think Polka Face might have been the name of the polka on that album. But whatever song he was parodying of hers, he reached out. He thought he had permission. He did a song, did a video, and then the record label was like, "What the hell are you doing? You can't do this."
Oh no.
Which, by the way, let's clarify that Al legally has no obligation to get permission.
No, that's
because
ethical.
parody falls under fair use. So Al, he was doing the Born This Way parody of Perform This Way, and so the record label's like, "No, you can't do that," and so Al's like, "Well, what the hell am I going to do now? Because I've already recorded this song and filmed this video." And then Gaga herself got wind of this and contacted Al himself, or contacted him herself, rather, and said, "No, go ahead. You have my full permission. It's an honor.
That's cool.
Go ahead." So I mean,
I'm starting to learn that Lady Gaga is kind of cool. Like, I never really cared before. I think it might be Jasmine's fault. I got her some Oreos. There's Lady Gaga Oreos.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
Yeah.
I saw some posts about those.
Yeah, I got her a little pack.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for them. They were free. Otherwise, I couldn't have gotten them for her.
There's another artist, though. Have you ever heard anything bad about Lady Gaga as a human being?
Not actually, no.
You hear good things about her all the time.
You hear people who have, like, problems with her because she's eccentric, but even, like, she's coming down in her, like, older age and with her, like, fibromyalgia and stuff. She's not quite as... She's not wearing, like,
she does
bacon dresses
so
anymore.
Much for charity and just people
and
in
causes.
General. Good causes, great causes.
Yeah.
So I've never heard a bad word about her other than, man, that Simpsons episode she was on sucked, and I don't agree with that. I thought it was
didn't see it.
I thought it was a pretty okay episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like terrible like some other more recent episodes, like the one with Moe's Bar Rag. Anyway.
I don't know, like, Moe's Bar Rag's cool.
Anyway. But yeah, Paul McCartney has, fundamentally changed The Simpsons in that Lisa's a vegetarian.
Yeah,
and
that's
also,
cool.
Did turn down Weird Al, and Weird Al was cool about it. He's just like, "Oh, if, I'm going to respect your wishes." And again, Al absolutely does not have to ask these artists for permission. But a lot of them feel like it's an honor, like.
Yeah, I think it is,
And in fact, Daniel Powder, Bad Day. You had a bad day, blah, 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 whatever. So he wrote a parody of that called Bad Date.
Oh, okay.
It was going to go on one of his albums. I want to say Straight Outta Linwood. And the and he's getting ready to put it out, and Daniel Powter's record label was like, you can't do that.
Oh.
And just to avoid the conflict, Al was like, not doing it. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going on the album. I'll put something else on there. And that's actually the origin story of White and Nerdy.
Oh, really?
Because he needed something to put on the album to replace the Daniel Powter parody. And Chameleonaire was like that Catch Me Riding Dirty song.
Yeah.
That was like one of
one.
the top songs at the time. And he's like, I'm going to do that one. And Chameleonaire was like, yeah, okay, cool. And so Al did that and put it on the album and released the single and all that. And he did release the Bad Date song. He released that as a music video, and I think like an iTunes exclusive single or something like that. Okay. Because it was like, okay, I can still do this, and I've already done this, and Daniel Powter is cool with me doing it, so I'm going to put it out anyway.
Yeah.
Because it was just his record label. He was fine with it. So he put out a video and he was performing it in concert for a while, and then he was like, "Okay, guys, tonight's the last show I'm playing this song at," and retired the song. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to I'm glad we're able to shine some light on some positive figures right now when all this other shit is going on. That's really negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, do you have any celebrities or public figures that you look up to yourself?
Not really. No.
No.
I want to be me. I don't.
You're
I think.
cute.
I think there's a lot of celebrities. There's a lot of artists that I like. A lot of celebrities that I'm a fan of, and maybe I'll pick up something here or there from them, like a mannerism or a quote or something along those lines. But I'm never gonna like make their personality my entire personality.
Well, that's not really what I was.
Well, we were talking about that. That's how we got on the subject. We were talking about Marilyn Manson and all the shit that he's been accused of over the last couple of days, and why we don't believe him saying, "Oh, it was all consensual."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've picked up a lot from wrestling over the years, but I'm never going to say anybody I picked up anything from wrestling from was a wholesome human being.
What about like Bailey?
Sure, I like Bailey.
She's a wholesome human being.
I've never picked up any of her mannerisms or anything.
Well, that's not even what I mean, but okay.
Yeah. I think I've not heard anything negative about Bailey. I think she comes across as very genuine.
She does. She's cute.
So,
Yeah, I haven't. Isn't she a heel now?
She's a heel now. Yeah. Brian mentioned new Bailey in the chat.
Yeah. She's still adorable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like her better as a heel, I think.
Yeah.
She
seems to be having fun with it from like the shit I've caught on the WWE network.
I've been a fan of Bailey since the first time she was her original character in NXT. When she was, they were like, because she was just like this adorable, like, childlike being, just had this innocence about her. And she goes, she's doing an interview and she's like, "Hey, do you want to play robots with me?" And I'm just like, that's freaking adorable. And then she would always like wear the headbands to the ring. And that's how I found out she's a fellow San Francisco 49ers fan. So like, as if I didn't adore her already.
Aww.
Now I know she's a 49ers fan too, like, and she's from San Jose, so, which is right near San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Brian says she's the best on SmackDown, and I can't disagree. I think she's done awesome work over the last couple of years, really.
Yeah.
Not to say that what she was doing before wasn't, but once she turned heel, it's like, and really like embraced this character. It's like, oh shit, okay, like I could dig this new Bailey.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, WWE has finally gotten rid of one of their really bad people on the roster.
Who's that?
Which was Lars Sullivan.
I don't know who that is.
You remember we went to NXT and this big dude comes out and he's wearing red trunks. He just beats the shit out of everybody.
No.
Okay, well, anyway. So he got in. He got called up to like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever, and he's supposed to wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania. But before everything could kick off, he just goes home. Had an anxiety attack and went home.
Oh.
And so they're like, okay, well, we take our superstar's mental health seriously, so we're going to let him do what he's got to do, and we'll bring him back when the time is right. And while he was out, all these old posts of his resurfaced, where he was saying all this misogynistic and racist shit. And so, like, and they were posts from before and after he signed with WWE. So WWE was like, all right, well, now you're going to give us $100,000. Because, we're going to fine you $100,000 and we're going to send you sensitivity training. So while he's away with a knee injury, doing this sensitivity training and having to pay WWE $100,000, it comes out that this guy who said all this homophobic crap before was in a gay porn.
That's glorious.
Before he was a pro wrestler, he was in a gay porn, and
that's glorious.
So it's just like, not only is he a fucking bigot, he's a fucking hypocrite about it. And he finally, WWE released him apparently last month.
Okay.
And never told anybody until like just now.
Oh.
And we're kind of like, a lot of us are like, wouldn't you kind of make a big deal about we got rid of this bigoted asshole that nobody likes?
But if no one was were people paying attention to it?
Yeah, it was a big story.
Okay.
And then it was up there with like the Fire Velveteen Dream movement.
What was that all about?
Velveteen Dream was accused of sending DMs that included explicit pictures to underage boys.
Oh, he has such a good gimmick though. Like
apparently he lives the gimmick. That seems to be the problem. So he sends unsolicited pictures to high school aged boys, asking, what school do you go to and all this other shit, right? And he says, okay, look, I got hacked. And so that wasn't me. And Laura, don't worry, we're going to end the show very shortly. But anyway, that wasn't me. Then this kid releases these voice messages, sound an awful lot like Velveteen Dream. So WWE, I think he got injured around that time. He got into a car accident or something, so he's not on TV. And then WWE is like, we take this seriously. We're going to launch a full investigation, and we'll get to the bottom of this. And next thing you know, he's back on TV, and people are like, what the fuck? And WWE are like, well, we did an investigation, and we didn't find anything.
Okay.
The kid posts on social media, and he says, nobody called me. So how thorough was this investigation? So yeah, I'm leaning. I'm in the Fire Velveteen Dream camp.
Okay. How long ago was this?
This was sometime last year.
Oh, okay.
So we do need to get out of here, though. This is the last song of the 5th anniversary episode. This is another former co-host on the show, Mr. Dan Twist.
Yeah.
Is the bass player for this band. This is Exham Priory, and this song is called Goddamn on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show. And we'll see you next week.